So I was watching a video, and I can't remember the name of the show, but I was watching a video, and they were talking about. Um, they had asked one of the speakers, how black women, how they would want people to show up for them, like, what do they wish people knew? And she was talking about how a dysregulated nervous system for a black woman looks like aggravation and frustration. And I think that I've always said that I wish that our medical system and our psychological and social systems actually study things in depth by culture. I don't even know that they've done that, but if they have, then I don't know that this is public knowledge that everyone understands other than someone who studies psychology or sociology and different studies like that. And so then a gentleman, after she gave her list, the gentleman said, it's hard to protect someone when you don't feel protected. And when he said that, it made me, it really shined a light on the fact that, and then someone went more in depth and said, when you are either brought from another country in chains, or you're, as indigenous people, you're enslaved, or you're basically, your husbands are killed, your wives are married to take land, and you don't really have the safety that like knowing that you're safe. I don't believe that melanated people in America feel safe. And because they don't feel safe, they live with this underlying fear of not being safe. And so even with being in relationships, they don't know how to be in relationships and offer safety to each other. Now, there are some relationships that choose their levels of safety, what that looks like, what that feels like, and they function within an agreed arena of what safety and protection and love looks like. But there are some areas, especially the children who were, at home, playing the older brother and sister, playing the parent when the parents weren't there, taking care of the needs that the parents were while the parents were working and trying to make a life for them. Like, those children really only had the example of doing what they were told and not really exercising in emotional intelligence. Like, they just needed to be emotionally intelligent when it came to the parent that was raising them, so that they could, like, stay out the way and make sure that that parent was happy. And then when that parent did have a mate, they still were taking on that role while in competition to a certain degree with the new mate, especially if they were married. And so, like, that's a whole nother level of psychology and sociology that we'll have to get into another time. But it is called parentification, if I'm not mistaken, and enmeshment and different things like that have to do with it. But what I'm saying all of that to say, if you don't know safety for yourself, at times it's hard for you to create safety for someone else. And so a lot of times we say we feel safe, but I believe that when you live within a society that holds different definitions of safety for different caste systems, and then you have a mix of different caste systems functioning together, it becomes confusing on purpose. I think that it is something that is made confusing on purpose. And it's used as a fear tactic to keep people on edge, always wondering. It is also used to keep people in line, because you now have to be obedient to a system that has never made you feel safe and never allowed you to know true safety. That's like, I think in the 50s and the 60s and maybe even the 70s, you've had where men used to beat their wives, the police would come and basically say, talk to the husband and everything is good here. The husband might be someone, well known in the community. He may have slipped him some money. And then, these were Caucasian men that were doing it. And then black men started doing it. And they were told to keep their women in line. And then you have women who would secretly harm men. Like there's just levels, but everybody's not like that. And everybody doesn't hold that. And I think that where things change is that we started actually integrating with other cultures that had different understandings, different meanings, and different ways of honoring. I was when I was a massage therapist at a chain, this gentleman brought his wife in. He spoke for his wife. His wife needed a massage. He told me what she needed. He sat in the room with her while she got the massage. He just wanted to make sure that she was safe and she was honored. And within the melanated culture, someone would have said that's extremely controlling, right? But for his culture, it was a way of honoring that woman and taking care of her and offering protection. So the gentleman did leave to go use the bathroom. And the woman whispered to me, because he had said that she didn't speak English. The woman whispered to me and said, "Thank you." And when she said thank you, I thought I heard a ghost, because I was like, "Did you say something to me?" She said, "Thank you so much. You're helping me." I said, "You're welcome." She said, "My husband doesn't know I speak good English." And I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Your secret's good with me." He came back in. She got her massage. She nodded to me when she left after we were done. And that taught me a lesson about what safety looks like in other cultures. I wasn't threatened by him wanting to come and sit in the room with her. I wasn't threatened by the fact that she was okay with someone walking her through a process and speaking for her. I was okay with the fact that this woman understood who she married and under what rules she was living as far as her belief systems and the guidelines thereof. Many of us would not be able to function within that. So, know what your safety looks like and understand what safety is not.